Aputure invited me to try out some of the more recent Amaran products, and I have just been thrilled with the experience. So I want to share some comments with you guys today. And one of the lights that we discussed is, in my opinion, the best value in LED lighting. Now, typically in my videos, I like to break down one product and go over all the details, but all of these products have been out for quite some time. So there's plenty of videos out there that break down and test all the specs and compare them to other popular lights on the market. I'll add a few notes on those topics, but for the most part, I just want to share the experience that I had after using these for a full week of shooting video. Now, first up, let's talk about this, the Amaran PT4C. Let's break that down real quick. The T stands for tube. It's a tube light. 4 because it's a 4-foot LED, and then C for color because this is RGBWW, meaning it can produce not only any color temperature, any tint, but also any RGB color value. But the P, that stands for pixel, and that's what really separates this product from other light tubes. A standard light tube can produce one color across the entire tube. This, with its pixel technology, means that it can create independent hues, independent intensities across the entire tube, which just leads to creating all sorts of practical effects with one light source. So what you see right here is a 3-color pixel chase effect. You can control various parameters of this, like the speed at which they move across, the width of each light, the color of each light, as well as the brightness of each light. Now, there is a menu that offers control of these effects built right onto the Amaran tube, but I have to say, what really makes this enjoyable to use is pairing it with the Sidus app. The Sidus app allows you to dial in effects, and you're not just sitting here spamming these dials to change parameters. Instead, you can quickly swipe. You can also store effects, come back to them. The control is just way faster, and it's a way better user interface when using the Sidus Link app. And the Sidus Link app is exactly what I used to control 2 of these as the only 2 light sources when I was working on a synth video project. And if I'm being completely honest, I literally pulled these out of the box from when they got shipped to me and immediately put them to use on that video project, which I don't normally recommend, but I work with this person all the time, and this was rather creatively free of a project, so I didn't really feel too much pressure in testing out these lights, and I also just have other things I'm more familiar with that I could have gone back to had they not worked out. But they did work out. They worked out fantastic. I immediately felt right at home using the Sidus Link app. It's very intuitive and a great user experience to just hop in and start controlling even the advanced aspects of these lights. Some other minor details: lasts about 2.5 hours, can go anywhere from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin, charges via USB-C, and we have flat sides right here. So if you are putting this down on a flat surface, it doesn't just go rolling away on you, which is really nice. Now, in terms of accessories, you get a padded case, a charger, you get this so that you can mount the bar to anything via 3/8, or you could easily adapt that down to 1/4-20. You get this so that you can set it up vertically, 3/8 on the top right there, and then you get this cable so that you can connect it to DMX if you're using a system like that. The PT4C is just a tremendous value. A single one is about $429. Comes in really competitive, even a little bit under most of the other big providers of these type of tube lights that have pixel technology. So really great value, and I just think it's an excellent product that has been super accurate and super easy to use. Now onto the star of today's video, which would be the Amaran 300C, and this is what I think is the best value in LED lighting. This is a point source or single source LED. This is 300 watts, hence the 300C, and the C is for color because it's also an RGBWW light, meaning it is capable of producing any color temperature, has tint compensation, and you can produce RGB color. And this also has effects. You can control things like hue, saturation, and luminance over a period of time, therefore creating a practical effect. Now, with any type of bicolor or RGB light, when it is packed into a single light source, there's a little bit of a concern because oftentimes that means when you're using hard light sources, you're gonna get weird color fringing or stair-stepping problems where some rays of light on the chip are making it to a spot, but others are not, and therefore you don't get that proper blend. But the Amaran 300C has the awesome color blending technology that the more expensive Aputure lights have that are either bicolor or RGB, and it is done so well you can even use hard light modifiers and not see significant stair stepping or color fringing. This is a little sidebar, but this Amaran Spotlight SE is just another example of Aputure delivering great on the features and possibilities, but it's at a much more affordable price because they've stripped down some of the build quality quality aspects that would be available on their higher end products. This spotlight kit compared to the Aputure spotlight kit, the flag controls are a little bit different. It doesn't have the big yoke. It's lighter materials overall. It's smaller overall, right? All of those things are kind of diminished, but you can still cut light, project light, and focus light. So all the functionality for creative applications is still there. And that's exactly what they did with the Amaran 300C. You are giving some things up versus the more expensive Aputure 300X or the Aputure 600X, any of their X series lines from Aputure. Those are all RGB lights, but they have higher build quality, stronger materials. I think they have like a rubberized grip. They have a larger yoke that allows you to get more aggressive when tilting the light or rigging the light. They have their own dedicated control box, whereas this is one cable straight to the power brick and then straight to the wall. Any type of control needs to happen on the back of the device or connected to the Sidus link. But what you don't give up is creative possibilities, because you still have RGBWW empowering you to create all of those effects and all of those colors and blend with any other light source. I also have to talk about how the Amaran 300C compares to the RGB single source light that I've been using, which is the Godox SC150R. Honestly, in terms of functionality, I feel like they accomplish practically everything the same. However, the big difference is Aputure's color blending technology versus Godox's approach, which was simply to slap diffusion over the entire chip, results in the Amaran just being brighter overall. Not only because this is a 300 and this is a 150, but it punches up beyond that because, well, it's not a lot of diffusion to create a seamless colored effect. In terms of fan noise, I know some of the earliest Amaran products seem to be quite a bit louder than what you would expect with the Aputure products. This Amaran 300C does not have that issue. I never found the fan noise to be distracting. Even now that I'm standing right next to it, I don't think that fan noise is affecting this at all. And this ended up being my primary workhorse for the entire first week that I used it. We did a 3-day shoot with it, and this was the primary backlight for the entire project. 9 hours a day, this thing was on, lighting backgrounds and providing effects on backgrounds for a long project. Which is great, because I think that the Amaran series of lighting is really geared towards home content creator, right? Lighting up a home office for YouTube videos, doing tabletop videos, that sort of thing. But honestly, it suited itself just fine in a production setting. Now, I do think if you're in a production environment where you're traveling a lot, bringing this in and outside of production vehicles or loading up onto a plane and flying with it, you'd at least want to update the case on this. It's that new style of cases where it's like a very hard foam, keeps everything safe, and is actually a pretty useful application for both shipping and protecting your light. But in any type of rigorous environment, they're surely going to break down. One important thing to know about the Amaran 300C is that out of the box, there is no way to connect it to V-mount battery. That would take an optional accessory to go V-mount to DC in 48 volt. So why do I think the Amaran 300C is the best value in LED lighting? Well, it's $569, making it the most affordable RGB 300 watt point source LED on the market, at least from very reputable manufacturers. It wasn't even 2 years ago that a 300 watt daylight balanced LED in the 500s was a great deal. So to have RGB on top of that is just an insane value only 2 years later. And this light's closest competitor would probably be the Godox SC300R, another RGB 300 watt LED source, and that light is in the $700 range. Now $569 is already an amazing deal, but wait, there's more. They just launched their Black Friday pricing. It starts today, and the Amaran 300C is $455, so $120 off of its normal price, which was already an exceptional value. And if that's a little bit too much power for you, then you can get the Amaran 150C for $305. A 2-light Amaran PT4C kit is $628. The Spotlight SE kit, whether you get it with the 19-degree lens or the 36-degree lens, is only $284, and they have deals on a lot of other lights as well. These deals start today and go all the way through November 30th, and if you're interested in just checking out all of these awesome deals, you can find that linked in the description below. And you can also get an extra 10% off just by subscribing to their mailing list, which puts the Amaran 300C just a hair over $400, which is just ridiculous. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this informal look at the Amaran products. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Also, it feels good to be back. I know I haven't posted a video in a long time, but I don't know, we'll save that story for another day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
He liked that one.